Welcome to the You Can't Afford Me podcast, where we skip the fluff and dive straight into the grind. Real entrepreneurs, real struggles, and the unfiltered journey behind success. Let's get into it. Hey guys, thanks for joining us on another episode of the You Can't Afford Me podcast. This interview is well overdue, even though I just asked him the other week. But got a good friend on here today. A lot of times people think we're in similar fields and like competition. You shouldn't be talking to them. Like, I relish these opportunities because we're actually in different sectors. Even though we're in the same field, we're in different sectors. And I think there's a lot of value that he's going to be able to add to this conversation and talk about the great business model he's built, what he has going on, a new business that he's entered into here recently. So today we got Chris from HD Bros on the podcast. How you doing, buddy?
I'm awesome. Thank you. It's good to be here. Your place is sweet. And yeah, just like you said, the competition is non-existent. I like to think of it as collaboration. That's how we both win, right?
Absolutely. So take 60 seconds, give us a quick rundown of who you are, what you do.
Okay. So I started a business, HD Bros, right out of college, 2012. So we've been in business for 13 years now.
Which is a huge feat in itself.
It is. I'm definitely proud of that. It's a media business, so like we're talking about here, very similar. We kind of dialed in on a certain niche, which is the real estate aspect of that.
Yep.
Not doing anything crazy or world changing or anything like that with what I do. One of the things I'm most proud of with my business is that I built it with my best friends. So
which is another major obstacle because that's where most business partnerships fail. Most people are like, hey, I'm going to go in business with my buddy. This is going to be awesome. So to hear it last 13 years is no small feat either.
It is. It's very cool. Yeah, I mean, most of the guys who are staffed on our team, they're lifelong friends of mine.
Nice.
I mean, we grew up together, played baseball together, skateboarded together. You know, started doing the video thing early on, school projects, things like that. So just kind of worked through life together. So it's really cool. And I mean, where we're at now, we're excited. And like you said, it's not easy working with people, especially close friends like that. So
Yep.
it's very tough, but it's been a pleasure for sure.
Love that. All right, let's start to break this down like a fraction, man, because I'm excited to talk to you about this. So, number one, how did you get your start in video? So you said you're a skateboarder. So I'm assuming, I'm going to make an assumption, you were that early crowd that like guys on the skateboard. One guy was there with the camcorder getting all the 6 shots. Is that your entry to videography?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head right there. So growing up, did the skateboarding thing. There was very few people who had the equipment to do that. I was lucky enough to find myself with that. I talked my parents into getting me a pretty nice camera early on. I worked for it. The arrangement was I get a job, work through the summer, and they'll meet me halfway with the camera gear. So
nice.
That was a little sales done by me and a little, hard work and effort for sure. So did that in school, got the camera, got the gear. We took full advantage of that. We used that to do our high school projects, to do,
nice.
We weren't like crazy partiers in high school or anything, but what we did do was make stupid, funny music videos and basically just using those tools and really having fun with it.
Nice. So, I mean, number one, hearing that you were on that trend a little bit early, like a lot of kids, how old were you at this time? Like 15, 16 or something like that?
Exactly. I was 15 and yeah, you got it right there. So.
Man, I'm psychic, dude.
You must be.
But most 15, 16-year-olds, like their first job, like they're taking that money and buying a new pair of Jordans. Your mindset was already on, I need this piece of equipment so I can make content.
Yeah. Not to backtrack too far, but I guess I've kind of always had a business mind. In middle school, we sold skateboard t-shirts for our skate team.
Nice.
So did that whole thing. So just kind of played along with that. Knew that there was something to be done with the media. YouTube was still like just up and coming.
It
was
days.
Early on there, which I've got a cool YouTube story. Whenever that.
No, let's
that
get
fits.
into it.
Okay.
It's with the YouTube story.
Yeah. So, not that I have any regrets.
I was like, you ain't on the low got like 10 million subscribers on YouTube, do you?
No, I wish. So not that I have any regrets, but I do think I missed the bubble on the YouTube a little bit by not capitalizing on it. One of the things we did, my friends played paintball.
Yeah.
So they were doing paintball, and I started filming these paintball tournaments. So I got to the point where we actually were filming professionally for paintball, and it's not just like the one in the woods. It was like that, like kind of airball kind of paintball thing. So we were doing
the one
that.
you see on ESPN Ocho or stuff like that.
It was, and at the time, it was actually trending to be a pretty big thing. It was shown on ESPN, the regular ESPN too. So we ended up doing a stint in professional paintball videography. And we had a great following on YouTube before our original YouTube channel got erased.
And how old were you at this point? This still around 16, 17?
So, yes, that's when it got started. The professional thing extended through college, actually. I would just go do that over the summer, and we would travel, hit all these tournaments up.
Nice.
And it was a fun time. A lot of traveling, a lot of explicit activities, and fun.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I like to say.
You're a married man. We can't go too deep in the history now.
No. And then the other thing with the YouTube was I had a email in our YouTube account, but we didn't know how to access at the time. MTV Scarred. They had hit me up to be on the pilot episode, and we saved it. We had the email and everything. Again, don't have regrets. Really wish I did that. I had broke my arm skateboarding. Yeah. And one of my other buddies was filming me. And it was like a pretty bad break to where my arm was jacked up and you could see it. True. And
that's why I never picked up skateboarding.
He got right there up on the camera with me, and I said something funny. I was like, right before I went, my mom was always like, wear your helmet, wear your helmet, wear your helmet. Yeah. Of course, I was trying to look cool, and I wasn't wearing my helmet. Yep. Snapped my wrist. They had to come get me in the ambulance and everything, but I was laying there. My wrist was all mangled up. You could see it on camera how mangled it was, and that's what Scarred reached out about. But I was like, it's okay, Mom. I didn't hit my head. It was only my wrist. So that's kind of a funny little joke.
Then she had you with the wrist protectors out there after that.
I actually didn't really skate much after that until recently with my son. So
I was going to say, I see you kick flipping all the time now in videos.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back in there. But yeah, that was cool. Missed the email because we were just teenagers, weren't paying attention.
So how much longer did it take you to find that? This is like years later you realized you had an email from MTV?
Years later, we were like, hey, there's actually an email that we saved and we had it somewhere, and they reached out, wanted me to be on the first episode, the pilot episode of Scarred. So anybody who doesn't know what that is, it was, that crazy show on MTV, just another trendy show where people were getting mangled up and doing that. Jeez. Ironically enough, also, I recently had a YouTube account banned from YouTube because it was that I re-uploaded the video of me breaking my arm, and their policies changed, so you can't show graphic stuff like that now. Yeah. But that's where I got found on was YouTube. So,
that's an awesome story. Let's track back a little bit because you said as early as the age of 14, 15 years old, you kind of got that entrepreneurial bug. Where did that come from? Did you have parents that were entrepreneurs, a cousin, a brother or sister or somebody? Like, where did that spirit come from?
I mean, both of my parents are realtors. So, they work for themselves. They've got their own business. My grandma was their team lead. So I just grew up with business-oriented family. But I like to think of myself as a creative. And then the business stuff, I think, I was able to have freedom doing what I wanted to do. And I realized that early on. Not rebellion, but skater. Sold the T-shirts in school, got in trouble for doing that. So it was kind of like a fun way of, I would get in trouble on a light scale because I was pushing the boundaries and saw saw what you can kind of do. So
now they bring guys like you and me in the classrooms to talk about entrepreneurship.
It is.
And back then you got in trouble for selling a Snickers bar for 50 cents over market value.
Oh, full circle. That's how I got the T-shirts for free, because we were selling them to all our groupie girls that were in on the skateboard team. So.
Yep. Let me ask you this. Do you think entrepreneurship is a skill that's learned or that you're born with?
I'm a believer that any skill can be learned. It's, your time and dedication and what you're putting into it. Certain things, reverting back to like the creativity and stuff, and maybe having a good eye with a camera and things like that, you definitely are born with. Those are, gifts from God.
Yep.
Kind of deals there. So being able to find out what you're good at, though, is, I think, the ultimate skill, because that's where people lose it and don't really know their direction. You got to find that what was my gift kind of deal, and then work from there.
Yeah, we all have been blessed with that one gift, but a lot of people make it to the grave and never being able to identify what that is. And I think that often comes from fear of just willing to explore. Like, a lot of people just aren't willing to take the risk to be happy, which is crazy as that sounds, or like, I'll just take the safe path versus like, what is it that really speaks to your soul? Because like, you could be hardcore about football. Doesn't mean you're built to be one of the guys on the 52-man roster that's actually going to play on the field. But they have marketing departments for every NFL team. They have concession stands. Like, there are all these adjacent things that can have you in that space, and you can be linked to something a little bit more that's your passion. So now the real estate thing makes a lot more sense to me, knowing that both your parents and your grandmother are both in real estate. So let's talk about that piece, because that's the niche that you guys have carved out at HD Bros. And I want to dive a little bit more into the partnerships as well too. But that's where Enzo Media Firm got their start too. So my reasoning was probably different than yours, since you grew up around the business. My reasoning was, I'm just starting this business, and I was looking at it from a marketing component, and I was like, I need to get my name out here. What professional knows more people in the community, who's connected the most? And the answer I kept coming back to was realtors. So initially just focusing on walkthrough videos and things like that. Those are services that we no longer offer. I had somebody hit me up. I got to get better at texting you that. Like, 2 people hit me up the other day asking for walkthrough videos, and I was like, here's Chris. He's your guy. Like, talk to him. We still work with realtors, but we focus more on the branding aspect of things, like whether it's developing a podcast for them or like doing some branding video or educational videos, things like that. I think you guys are the best in this area when it comes to doing walkthrough videos. Like, you say you're not doing anything groundbreaking, but like, I don't think at our peak with walkthrough videos that we were making stuff as clean and efficient as you guys were. And part of that too was also, I rarely look at my quote unquote competition. But when I saw the level that you guys were doing things, I'm like, I don't have the desire to eclipse that. Like, they're doing a great job. I'd rather focus on these other businesses or these other sectors, and let me just funnel the business to them. So for you guys, obviously understanding you come from a real estate background with your family, why have you, because it's been ultimately 13 years, you guys have just carved out this niche. What is it about real estate and marketing that has worked for you guys?
Yeah. I mean, it was that we kind of fell into it, got not lucky, but we were just at the right place, right time, took advantage of it. Back in 2012, nobody was doing video, especially, but professional photography for real estate was brand new still. Nowadays, the joke is you don't see iPhone photos. You don't see people taking their own photos. You're not considered a professional at all anymore. But that just wasn't the case in 2012.
Yep.
So in between us freelancing and doing all of our other creative jobs to stay afloat, my parents and then Dan, my business partner, his mom worked for the same company, Coldwell Banker, Elite in Stafford, Fredericksburg. And we had some family friends and just a lot of contacts who worked at that office. And they were like, what about doing a video tour kind of deal? So again, it was almost presented to us, and then us just being the only people who had the tech and the gear to be able to do that, we were like, yeah, let's do it. Me and Dan, we were doing it ourselves, and it started as, a couple shoots here and there for agents. We were charging, $100
Yeah.
to do photos and videos back then.
I've been there.
But that was fine. That was fine when
Yeah, it
you're
works
making
at
the
that
money.
time,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're making the money. It's like, I'll do that for $100 myself.
Yeah.
I'm right out of
Well,
college.
you don't have the overhead of office space and
Nothing.
employees and all this other stuff.
So we did that, and we were getting to the point where we were both doing too much work. We moved into my parents' rental house in Stafford, Fredericksburg area, and our other friend was a year behind us in college and just graduated. He didn't know what he wanted to do with his job stuff yet.
You're like,
either.
come on at the crib, man.
Oh
We're
yeah.
gonna work you
So
in.
he came in. It was just it was our little, start from the garage house where HD Bros got kind of formed there. And he did that, and
See, that's got to be awesome. Like, that's a part of entrepreneurship that I wish I'd gotten to experience, because you hear these stories about guys. Because, like, when YouTube first got big and it was like influencers, they all lived in the same apartment complex. So they were all just popping over to each other's room, popping outside, creating videos. So, like, I just, like, relish in that idea of, like, waking up and immediately having your boys there, like, we're getting to work and it's like late nights, 11:30, you're popping beers, you're ordering pizza, but you're still sitting there having editing sessions, talking about business plans. Like, to me, that sounds like heaven as a single guy.
yeah, it was. It was exactly that. It could get emotional for me because it was that cool.
Yep.
We say it was like some of the best times of our lives. I mean, we were single guys. Sure, we had some girlfriends and things like that. My girlfriend at the time, now my wife. So got to grow this thing with me. Kaylee, obviously, so grateful for her. But yeah, we did the late night sessions. We would work weird hours and still have some freedom and fun. And we would go golf or, do whatever we wanted. But we were grinding. We were grinding 24/7 without the responsibilities of kids, life, full relationships. Just without all those responsibilities, it was a nonstop work grind, but it was so much fun. I
Love that.
We had which I got all these pictures to show for it too, which is cool whenever I write my bio book or whatever. I got all the photos, but we had a painted on whiteboard in the living room, just in the middle of the living room. The whole wall was a whiteboard. It wasn't cleanly painted or nothing. It was just scribbled on.
It's gonna work.
We had all the shoots that we were doing. We had all the, the plan that we were doing. It was a great time.
Dude, I love that. I love that. Like, someone who's anybody listening that's a true entrepreneur, like, that gets your juices flowing, man. Like, that's just a great environment to be in. Let's talk about the business. Actually, no. Let me stick on that real quick. So, inform me, because, like, I've seen your brand grow from the outside. It's my understanding that when you guys first got started, all the staff that you originally brought on were just contractors. It seems like you guys have moved more towards that route where you're probably still doing some contractors, but now you may have some part-time or full-time employees. So talk to us about the structure of what HD Bros looks like.
Yes. So we cover a huge area right now, and huge for us anyways.
Yeah.
Different people, different mindsets, but we're Baltimore to Charlotte right now. So got a pretty good range, East Coast. We do travel for some big projects and things like that outside of the areas. But, we've got a in-house staff of about 10 guys. I say guys, but some girls too. Both of my little cousins are on staff with us as our admin, project manager kind of role.
Keep it in the family.
Yeah, it is. It truly is family, friends, business. We've got so many I can't even count. But we've got the team's about 40, a little bit more than 40 now. We just hired 13 new photographers this spring.
Nice.
So it's
Is that contractor, part-time, full-time?
Those are contractors, and they start as subcontractors. We have incentives for them to be full-time with us if that's, the route that they want to go.
Yep.
Kind of a couple-year plan. Some of our photographers started with us over 8 years ago now, maybe 10 years ago now. So they've been with us for a while, and those are the guys that got promoted and got to the salary kind of position where we do have the insurance and some benefits, some minor benefits for sure. But
nice.
Yeah, probably about 20% staff, and then the rest subcontractors. That there is a lot of not a lot of turnover, but I mean a lot of the guys that we're hiring, a lot of, I keep saying guys, but we also have females.
Yeah.
For anybody out there. They're creatives, and at this point in time, they have the camera gear. Originally, it was hard to find people with all the gear.
Yeah.
Now it's more common, so we're getting people who have the gear, are kind of doing, whether it's weddings, whether they're doing event stuff on their own. They have the gear, and they start out, we're maybe not the secondary job for them, but we're their day job, and then they go do weddings on the weekend. Yeah. So it works out because then we're not, guaranteeing a full workload for them and then having to let go, because early on also we would make these hires, and not that we were promising anything, but you would get a hire, and especially during busy season, they might have a good workload. Yeah. But then with real estate, it is seasonal. So if it's slowed down, then we might lose them because that's just not, that's not fitting with their lives. But now we've got a good flow, and we onboard slowly, as far as,
you start people as contractors before. Yeah.
But the training process and everything is really dialed in. Nick, that other owner who I said lived with us at the house, he does all our training, and he kills it. He's got a crazy retention rate actually right now. So we're the culture's there. People are enjoying working for us and working with us. Yep. And we're getting the right hires.
Love that. Let me ask you in terms of the quality control, because when you're hiring contractors and they're using their own equipment, how do you maintain a certain level of quality? Because some photographers are Nikon people or Sony or Panasonic. Like, how do you guys maintain that?
Yeah, we are understanding that as many shoots as we do, we're not perfect, and we will never say we're going to be perfect. We say that we will fix any problem, any error, any mistake, and we will make our clients happy and appease them. But yeah, we do, 200 shoots a week. So with that being said, we're pretty good. We're pretty good. Quality is pretty consistent across the board, but doing that many, you are going to find there might be a hiccup here or there. We run things through quality control. We again, the training guy Nick, he's awesome with, even with their own equipment. Doesn't matter if you've got a Canon, a Nikon, whatever. Yeah. The quality for the most part is going to be pretty accurate right there. We get them all the settings. We get them all the shot list, everything like that. So we're really systemized with the approach to building it.
Love that. Let's talk about the business partnerships. So up to date, I think I've started 9-10 businesses, which I think all but one I've had multiple business partners with. And the business relationships that have been the most successful were with people that we were the opposite. Like, I love being in front of the camera. I love being a salesman. I love being the spokesperson. But the greatest business partners I had, they wanted no part of that. They wanted to stay behind the scenes. They wanted to do the numbers, all the stuff that I hated doing. And some of them started out as friendships, and that worked out well. And some of them started out as friendships that just ended up badly. How have you guys been able to make clear distinctions in your roles, maintain a great working relationship, but also it sounds like you guys have maintained the friendship as well too? How do you do all those things collectively?
Yeah, that is the hardest part for sure. Dan, Nick, and myself, we definitely have some different characteristics and things that work for us. So just figuring out back to what your skill set is, what you play best, what position you play best. Nick, the training guy, I said this in his wedding speech. I was his best man, so I said it. He's Mr. Utility. He could do pretty much anything that you ask of him. Nice. So, and he doesn't want that spotlight. So he's not a sales guy at heart, in my opinion. Nick, sorry if you want to be, but he's not, and he understands that, and he just kills the roles that he's been given. He is great with people. He he knows what he's doing, knows how to understand people and work with people. So him being the photographer trainer role has just been super, super good. Dan, operations guy for the most part. I would say the difference between me and Dan, I am a little bit more loud. So the sales thing is good for me. I think I'm a creative. Dan's a creative but he's also a technician and dived into the camera stuff and the gear stuff early on. With every new piece of equipment that we got from early on, drones and stuff, he was taking stuff apart, fixing it up. Dan's my oldest friend in the business, known him since the 3rd grade, and he's been he was my best man at my wedding, and he told some funny stories and stuff too. But he's always been there to ring me in, pull me back, because I can get loud, I can get
you're the dreamer of the group.
Emotional. I mean, to a degree. We're all big dreamers, or we wouldn't have got this far. But I do think I'm optimistic to a fault, and it's all going to work out,
Same here.
So, and
because Michael needed Scotty needed Rodman. And when you have a team where everybody understands their role, Dennis Rodman knew when he went out on the court, his job was not to put 20 on the board. 20 rebounds, not 20 points. Scotty knew he was there to support MJ. Hey, when MJ's on the bench, Scotty, you're the man running point. Like, the ball's in your hand. But when MJ's on the court, we need you feeding the ball to him, getting him open, setting checks, all that kind of stuff. How long did it take you guys to identify? Because I think that's the thing that holds back most business owners, is identifying what you're truly good at and where your gifts are. And it's a different dynamic with you guys because you've been friends for so long. So, like, you've probably picked this out as friends, like, over the years. But, like, coming into the business setting, was an immediate thing like, hey, you're our operations guy, you're our sales guy? Or did it take some time for that to evolve and you guys to truly figure out who was going to sit best in what role?
Yeah, it's forever evolving for sure. But we, not recently, but, past several years, we've really just dialed in on those focuses and where we're good at. Early on, we all had to play a part in in different aspects of the company. As a startup, getting the finance together. I hate doing stuff like that. So
I can't.
But we had to do it. Getting the schedule organized. That's not my favorite thing to do. My favorite thing to do is maybe design something cool, make something look cool. I think I've got a good eye with the photography part. That's what I've been fed from the beginning. And I think I can talk to people and do that, and we've just kind of leaned into those points. So
love that. Let's talk about your personal life. So your wife was around, so you and I share that similarity in terms of I started dating my wife right when I became an entrepreneur. Like, literally that week, it was like, hey, I think I'm going to leave my job within the next 6 months and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. So I always, like, when I'm talking to younger guys, like, I always tell them, like, if they're on a career path like this, don't wait till the money comes and all these other things and the success. Find you a real one now, because you know why she's there. Like, if she's there with you in the early days, and my wife reminds me now, there were plenty of times that she had to pick up the bill on dates and things like that when we first started dating. So talk to us about the dynamic of what it was like for your then girlfriend, your now wife. What was the journey like for her with that? Was there a lot of frustration in terms of, because the money, everybody thinks as soon as we start an LLC that we're just paid. Like, it takes a long time to get the bankroll up and to pay yourself, because we're so entrenched in the work. Like, I would forget to pay myself at some time. It was like, oh crap, why is there no money in my bank? Oh, I haven't paid myself in a month. Okay, maybe I need to do that.
I mean, it's hard to even, get a lease. It's hard to buy a house. Like, it's an entrepreneur. It's there are a lot of roadblocks ahead, and it takes a lot of grit, determination. You can't quit. That's the number one. Yeah, my wife, I think it worked out good for us because she is 5 years younger than me.
Same with me. I married my wife 5 years younger.
Cradle robber, I think.
No, that's the right way to do it, because I'm building a business. I need somebody who can have kids a little bit later after I've built this to a certain point.
So she was still, she was in her last year of college at Virginia Tech when me and the guys were at my parents' house renting that out. So I got to see her enough for what we needed to have a relationship. It was, I had relationships before, and long distance stuff didn't work out, probably because my maturity level, honestly. But
takes us till like 26, 27 to fully develop as men.
For sure. So this time it did, because I knew what I needed to do as far as we were working. Again, it was fun. That was my fun, but we were working. So I got to see her on the weekends that she was home, or I would go visit on occasion. So it was a good transitional period of, we're not living together. We're not on top of each other so much. She knew what I was doing and what we were trying to do with each other and feel it out. And
what was her reaction when she'd walk in the house and you guys have a half-painted whiteboard on the wall and guys are going great? I'm immediately imagine, what's the show that was on HBO? Silicon Valley? That's immediately the house I pictured when you said that.
I mean, it was that. And again, that's why, like I said, I could get emotional because it was that fun. And I don't know if it was, we were living the way we were doing because we had access to stuff like that, or vice versa. But no, it's fun
when you're living that lean and like you really don't have many responsibilities, and it's just like, man, because as guys, like the only reason we have nice homes is because we're with women. If it was just I could live in a cardboard box and I'm straight. Like I'd sleep here at my office if that was the case. If I was single, I wouldn't even need a house. What was her reaction coming into that scenario and seeing how you guys were operating? Was it like, this is weird, or this is something really cool that you guys got going on?
I think that,
or a combination of the two.
I think that she at the time thought it was cool because I was older and our finances weren't together. So she just thought everything was good. She knew I wasn't balling, but she also didn't know I was strapped like everybody was. So it was more like, oh, this is cool. This is, interesting. I think for her, it was nice to see somebody working towards something than just, going through life. So that was cool. But now it's like, being married and everything. I'm like, you knew who you married, like with the wildness and my attitudes towards life and, just how extreme I can be. Again, I'm intense, emotionally with anything I do. I'm intense. I go balls to the wall, 100%, 150% on everything I do. And that was with work, with play, with anything. So, now it's like, well, you knew what you signed up for. And she'll say that and stuff too. And that's not to say you don't work on things. I've been working on things, and I've definitely improved, with multiple aspects of my life. But it's absolutely same core of a human, same grind, grit, and determination, like I said. Yeah,
because on my very first date with my wife, I laid out to her what it's going to look like dating an entrepreneur. Because we were talking for a couple weeks online before we actually had our first date. And I was like, look, I've dated a lot of girls, and they say they want a boss man, a CEO type, and then they actually get them. Like I joke with my wife, she'll watch those like Real Husbands, Real Housewives of Hollywood, stuff like that. And I always point out to her, I was like, who's her husband? Who's he married to? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Why do I never see him on the show? Have you ever thought about that? Because he's working. They get to shop and do this TV show and do all these other things. But like, if you want this lifestyle, it requires that their husband is putting together deals. So like our current house, like I had to get rid of my office once we started having kids, and that ended up turning into a playroom. I told my wife, this is non-negotiable. The next house, I just have to have an office. Number one, for tax benefits, get to write off a portion of the mortgage. But number two, like we can't continue to elevate and live this lifestyle if I can't operate the way I need to operate. So on that note, because I think, how old are your kids?
I've got a 3.5-year-old and a 1.5-year-old.
Okay, so we're not too far apart.
Boy and girl.
Yeah, and that's the right way to do it. We got my daughter's 5, and my son will be turning 4 in July. So boy, girl, we're done. I just have to make my appointment to get snipped. Talk to us about, and I kind of hate, I'm going to stop using this phrase. I hate the term work-life balance because I think in our world that does not exist. there are moments where work doesn't need as much of my attention and I can dedicate more time to my wife and kids. But then there are also weeks where it's like, all right, there are 2 nights this week. Daddy's got a conference or something like that, or I need to work late. I got this going on, so I'm not going to be around the house as much. How has that been for you in terms of making sure that your family's getting what they need? Now, I'm going to make another assumption. Like, the reason I started my business when I did is because I never wanted to be that dad to tell my kid no. Like, hey, Dad, I got a soccer game today. You going to be there? Oh, no, Daddy's got to work. I wanted to make sure that I was in business long enough, established, so that when those times came, I never had to look my kids in the eye and say, Daddy can't be there, he's got to work. So what's that balance like for you, and do you struggle with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So that was my life growing up. My parents both being realtors, they had flexibility.
Yeah,
That's
but
not
Saturdays and Sundays, they're showing homes.
Yeah, and it's not to say they weren't working on the vacations, working in between the baseball games, but the flexibility that they had allowed them to be at everything I was at. They were at all the games. My dad was a coach. They were at all the practices, everything. So that was early on. I was like, no, I'm never going to miss something important to my kids. So that's the whole reason for business and building it. And
we forget that sometimes we're building a business. We forget, because recently I've been listening to a lot of podcasts where, like, the people have attained that level of success. Like, the money's there, more money than they need. And you're at this crossroads in your life where, like, you're still grinding and hustling like you used to, but realizing you work so hard to get to this point so you can enjoy these things in your life. And it's a switch that has to take place at that level. Like, once you get there, like, hey, I have attained a part of what I'm looking to accomplish. I need to make that conversion and make sure that I'm taking the vacations. I'm doing this with the kids.
Absolutely. And, the vacations will come. That stuff will come. I think it's more of like the day-to-day stuff. Again, your kids being able to, see you laugh and be good with your wife, you being able to see all those moments of the kids' growth and all of that. So taking them to school, going to work right after, dropping them off at school though, getting to pick them up from school, taking them to their first swim practice. Those things are super important. And again, I knew that's what I wanted to do, and it's awesome to see that it's happening. Again, it's not balance. I mean, you've got to be time blocked. You've got to have a good schedule and get focused and organized, but maybe you're working at 8, 9, 10 at night. I mean, you do what you got to do to make it happen. So yeah, I don't think it's balance for sure. It's just getting what needs to be done.
Why did you go get your real estate license last year? And this is news to me as of a couple months ago, because I kind of saw it like obviously, like, the marketing that you guys do, like, you're heavily in the real estate community. And then after, like, I'd say over the last few months, last year, like, we've all kind of formed this habit among a few of us that know each other. We're, like, religiously uploading our workout videos in the morning to social media, whether it's like a quick storyline, and then you'll tag me in some stuff, I'll tag you in some stuff. And through that, you were always talking about, like, realtors working out, and I didn't put the 2 and 2 together that you were a realtor. Why did you step out and decide that you want to get your real estate license?
They say you want multiple streams of income, as an entrepreneur, especially. HD Bros is my baby. I got the tattoo.
Nice.
I've got the EST 2012. It's my baby. But I was looking for maybe something else, and that's personally, financially, another avenue to maybe have. And this obviously just fit and went along aside with what I was already doing, so it wouldn't have to take away as much as something else might have had to do. Like,
you're in there already getting photos of a home, you may be like, I think I got a buyer for this place.
I'm in the network. I know the people. Just so many of my mentors, my friends, my parents, so many people I know are just agents, and opportunity also. I take advantage of opportunity, and I was given one. I was not pushed, but Matt Cullither kind of talked me into doing it a little bit. I said this I've said this to people just talking to them, but in my 13 years of doing HD Bros, no one's ever been like, have you ever thought about getting your license? And maybe that was what I was putting off. Like I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But he was like, why don't you? Like almost like, are you stupid? Why don't you? Bless you. He's like,
that sounds like Matt.
Yeah, he's like, why don't you have it? Like, it just makes sense. And I'm like, I mean, it does make sense to a degree. The biggest concern I had and still have, which is why I'm not like advertising it as much as you just put me on blast advertising it. But I'm not about to self-sabotage what I built with the company. So
that was going to be my next question. Like, what's the, not balance, but like how much time during your week are you dedicating towards your real estate license and how much is dedicated to HD Bros?
Yeah, it's a after hours kind of thing. And like I say, after hours, meaning I do my HD Bros, get my stuff done first. And then I have a sphere of influence of contacts and people that, you know, potentially want to buy or sell a house. And I just make sure I'm doing the follow-ups. A lot of things, a lot of real estate is just being a good person and being able to communicate and stay on top of people, checking in with people, and all things I should be doing anyways.
Yeah.
So it just was as simple as that. Like, I mean, sure, there's CRMs, there's strategies, there's a lot to learn in it, but a big chunk of it is, you know, are you a people person? Are you, again, good with communication? Can you talk to people? Can you make people feel good? Do they like you? Do they want to work with you? So that's being a business owner and I think being a realtor as well.
On the fitness tip, why do you take your fitness so seriously? So actually, no, I'm not even going to say that because I don't want to influence anything with your answer. Why do you take fitness so seriously? Because a lot of people look at business owners. I think a lot of the people that we hold on high pedestals, like I was using this example with somebody the other day when it comes to like Warren Buffett, obviously the GOAT of investing. But I was watching a video where Warren Buffett basically goes to McDonald's every morning and gets the Egg McMuffin and the hash brown. And he actually has himself on a budget where like, if something got closed, then he only has $2.50 to buy. If something went well, then he has $3.50 to buy. But a lot of those guys that we view as like the GOATs of business, obviously looking at them, they're not taking their health as seriously. Why is that something that's so important to you?
So I'm big into my church. So number one, we're bodies of God. Mm-hmm. So that's number one. You should respect yourself.
Yep.
I really believe that you should hold yourself to the highest standard, mm-hmm. especially if you want to influence other people. You gotta be doing those things on your own. I get the question, what are you training for? Because my hashtag is train. So I do get the question quite often, what are you training for? And my answer is always the same. It's
life.
Life. I say life.
Life is a physical sport.
Yep. There is a saying of, do you take off days? And the answer to that is no, you don't plan for off days because, again, life, it's going to give you off days. My kid's sick. I got to take him to the doctors. Yeah. The conflict of schedule, I got to help my wife out, something like that. I might not be able to get that workout that I had planned in. Yeah. So you just don't plan for off days. You plan to work and you plan to better yourself every day. Yep. And if something happens, well, you did your best throughout the entire duration leading up to that. So it's like, it's not do or die kind of thing right there. I got the fitness group on Facebook recently. It's actually doing pretty good now, but we're doing a pull-up challenge in there. And nice. Same type of thing. One of my beliefs in fitness is you got to be able to do a pull-up. Yeah. You got to be able to do a pull-up, and people laugh when I say this, but like you fell off a cliff or you fell off the side of the road or you're hanging off a building. Yeah. Exaggerating, sure, but like you just dead.
You can find yourself. Yeah, you can find yourself because you can do one single pull-up.
You can't do a pull-up.
I heard a stat, and I may have mentioned this on the previous episode. Majority of Americans cannot do 5 push-ups.
Yeah, and I don't like to use that one, but yeah, you need to be able to do that one. I'm kind of that one's kind of solid. You got to be able to do that. Yeah. Pull-ups a little bit more hard, to do a little bit. especially for women, not taking anything away from women, but so we've got a bunch of women in the Facebook group now. Stephanie Brown, she's actually got the idea going for doing the pull-up contest. She's trying to do 10 pull-ups.
Nice.
And that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So it is. It's as silly as it sounds, you got to take your health serious. You can't perform your best and work if your health isn't there. So and you've seen me, I'm big on early morning workouts. And that's because if I wait too long in the day, something else is going to come up. Something's going to happen.
Absolutely.
My ideal time is, my alarm goes off at 4:30. I get to the gym by 5 and get my stuff done. It's quiet. It's nice. It's peaceful. I know I don't have people bugging me and stuff going on. And I'm
text messages and emails aren't coming in that early in the morning.
And you're prioritizing the most important thing in my opinion, your health, your fitness. So you do that, and then sure, work is important, money is important, but you can't have any of those things if you're not put together as a person. So.
I heard somebody say one time, if I offered you $10 million today, would you take it? And the answer is, of course, yes. Okay, cool. Let me put another caveat on that. I'll give you $10 million, but you can't wake up tomorrow. Which are you going to take?
Yep.
Well, of course, I'd rather wake up tomorrow. Okay, so your health is a bigger priority than money. Like, don't ever forget that.
Yep.
And the 5 a.m. thing, so you got me beat by 15 minutes. My alarm clock goes off at 4:45.
Well, I got a secret for you. So
hit me. Is it the daylight savings?
No, the secret is you use tools to your advantage. And I was talking to my other business partner, Rob, the other day. He was like, yeah, you're back on your early stuff. I'm like, yeah, well, I do what I got to do. I've got the kids. So sometimes you don't get as much sleep.
Yeah.
You into pre-workout or
anything like that? I take the pre-workout and creatine mix in the morning.
Okay. So,
I can't be up that early and not put something in my body. I do like to work out on an empty stomach, but I need that pre-workout mix.
So you wake up and then you take it though.
Yep.
So I have mine prepped on my nightstand, and then my alarm goes off 30 minutes before I need to wake up.
So I just imagine rock and roll music playing the second the alarm goes off, your head banging, you got your...
It would be that if my wife wasn't next to me in bed, but no, the alarm goes off. I wake up, gotta pee, whatever, slug my pre-workout.
Yep.
My alarm's set 30 minutes earlier than I need to go to the gym. Some people don't believe in the pre-workout. Some people are going to call me a cheater or you got to use something. It's a tool.
Yeah.
It's a tool, and you're not at the gym at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I am.
So don't give me tips.
So it is what it is, but that's worked for me, and that comes down to the preparation tool also. It's like I was prepared the night before.
Yeah.
So
I like the cheat because that's dumb that I don't already mix that, because that's legit a 5-minute piece of my morning when I'm like trying to get my gym shoes and all that stuff. If I just made that the night before, stuck it in the fridge, I'm Gucci.
Not even the fridge. Stick it by your nightstand. Not even in the fridge.
That all right. I'm trying that tonight. Legit trying that tonight.
You think you're gonna sleep in once you start getting that that pre-workout itch?
Yeah.
30 minutes before you start itching, you don't even need another alarm. You're up.
And it's also something too with, I don't care I think just rising early is a hack of success. Now, even if you're not going to the gym first thing in the morning, it could be meditation. It could be your moment with God. It could be reading a book. It could be planning your day, whatever it is. But everybody that's at a level that I hope to attain in whatever facet of life that is, they all get up early. And I'm not one of these ones that's going to be on Instagram, man, you got to get up at 3 a.m., seize the day, like blah, 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 chug 50 protein shakes, like close $10 million worth of deals, blah, blah, blah. None of that. Cold plunges, like all that stuff. But I do think there's something that said, there's a feeling that you get when you're up and most people have their alarm clock hasn't gone off yet. Like the fact that I know by the time I get home to shower from the gym, most people are just having their Cheerios. Meanwhile, I focused on my health. I've already gotten some content out for the day for branding. And generally, at least my warm up when I'm on the treadmill, I'm listening to a good podcast or an audiobook. So I'm already doing all these great things to start my day when most people haven't even put the milk in their Cheerios yet. To me, that's an empowering thing.
Stacking the wins. That's what it's about. Stacking the wins. And, I mean, if you're a winner, if you're competitive, if you just have that mindset, it is. And you can use it being competitive can be negative for sure, but it also is super, it's super driving. Like for me, I'm my biggest competitor. Sure, you should be your biggest competitor, improving on yourselves. But it's not bad to take other people and be like, man, I woke up earlier than him today, or use it as a competition.
Yep.
When you were in high school and playing sports or wherever you got to, the gym was always like, I'm going to lift more than you. And that's just my mindset. It's I'm going to do more than you. It's fun. It's game. Like my best friends, Nick, he was my lifelong gym partner. And it is, it's like, we know we get the best workouts when you're with each other. I typically work out by myself now. It's hard to find people who want to work out like you. And I'm not saying that for any reason. I'm not pushing crazy weight. I'm not doing anything pro level. But what I will do is I'm going to make it hurt.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it work, and I'm going to give it my best. And a lot of people just haven't got to that point yet.
Yeah. So. And it's keeping the best people around you. Like my best friend, since I've known him, my credit score has gone up over 200 points. Like I had crap credit score, but hanging out with him and like you picking up certain gyms, and he's like pushing me in certain areas. And to that point, like we used to be gym mates as well too. And it was like, my mile time was coming down here. I was starting to put more up on bench press, like all these different things. Like I think there's a difference between competition and healthy competition.
For sure.
I think it's great having healthy competition, people in your life that are going to push you. And that could be with your spirituality, that could be with your finances, that could be with your business, could be your romantic relationships. But I think if you don't have people around you that are constantly pushing the needle for you in certain areas, if you're staying stagnant, you're moving nowhere at all.
Yep.
Like I'd honestly rather move backwards than to stay still.
Yeah.
Because at least then I can kind of gauge and see, okay, I'm not on the same level I was last year. I gotta track this up.
Have you read Let Them?
I don't think I've read that one. Is my phone in here? Remind me. I'm gonna put it on my list.
I was sleeping on that one for so long. I listened to it on Audible, but Let Them, the Let Them theory. It's a great book, and one of the lines I really liked it, and it stuck with me because people are like, comparison is the thief of joy, or competition, this and this, and no, one of the lines she says in the book, it's comparison can either be torture or it can be a teacher. And I was just like, that's what I wanted. I was like, yes, it can be bad for sure. It can totally kill you if you let it. Or you could take the people that are beating you, that are doing better than you, and you could sit down and say, what in the heck are they doing that I'm not doing? And learn. Yeah.
I think the segment that gets people in trouble is, trying to keep up with the Joneses. When you look at the superficial stuff like, oh, the neighbors just got a new Mercedes-Benz. I need a Mercedes-Benz to keep up. Like, first off, most people driving a luxury car are like up to their eyeballs in debt. Like it's not everything that shine ain't gold, man. Like people gotta realize that. There's one question I'm starting to ask as we close out. There's one question I'm starting to ask every guest, and that is, talk to us about your lowest moment as an entrepreneur.
I mean, I used to journal more. I haven't really been doing that. But I used to journal, and I would have, you are so poor written down in my journal to the dollar figure that I had, or the amount of debt that I had in my personal bank. Yeah. And again, that was, maybe I'm being hard on myself, but maybe it was just
motivation
a motivator and a reminder of don't ever let this happen again kind of deal. I mean, there's always low points. I had a low point recently where I was struggling with friend work balance, and the biggest thing was we were just all so busy. I'm used to working with my friends, being all together, doing that thing, and like we're at different points in our lives now where we all have kids, we all we're just all busy, and I was taking it personally and putting a lot of things in my mind that weren't necessarily true, but I was struggling. I was like, man, I'm not seeing these guys. His business going is good. Like we're doing great numbers, but like is everybody happy? Am I just feeling this way? Like, what's going on? And again, it was, it's just the time of life that it is. It's the season that it is. And Alex Hormozy, you follow him, he posts a bunch of stuff in his little snippets, and he's like, the best friends are the busiest friends.
Yes. Hands down.
And again, a lot of that. So
if my friends can drop at a dime in 5 minutes, like, I mean, your best friends, if you're in an emergency, they're going to drop whatever they're doing. But like, if I can just hit you up and like, if I'm not playing phone tag with you, I don't know if I should be your friend. Because like, as we were sitting here in this podcast, like one of my friends called me, and it's just like, we've been playing a little phone tag this morning. It's like, when I'm available, he's not, and vice versa. Like, there's a lot of truth to that piece there.
Yep. And it's all positive spin and stuff now. And I say this again, this is for entrepreneurs and people who want to get started in business. But I remember being in Nick's apartment and with just 4 of us, and we weren't going to make payroll. So
it's the scariest thing.
We all got on the phones and we were calling. This was before we had automated invoicing, and people owed us a lot of money, and we all got on the phones and we were tracking it down and trying to get this money so we can make payroll, because we had subcontractors and people we had to pay. And there's been multiple points where I've put personal money in. My teammates, the other owners, we've taken pay cuts and different things that you've got to do. It's tough, and it will eat you alive if you're not just prepared to know that it's not easy and that you just got to keep going.
1,000%. Love that. That's a perfect note to end on.
Cool.
Man, if people want to get more information, reach out to you, hire HD Bros, where can they go?
hdbros.com. Again, it's real estate specific media. So all your listing stuff, photo, video, drone, everything that's common. We're built for teams, built for systems. If you do a lot of volume, if you have a lot of listings, if you're looking for consistency and you're looking for someone who's going to take care of you throughout the entire process, that's what we're here for.
Love it. If someone wants to hire you as a realtor, where can they reach you? Throw your IG out there.
Yeah, you can. My Instagram is real Chris Smith, and Facebook Chris Smith. There's a lot of them. So, but real Chris Smith on Instagram.
Chris, like, man, Sam, shut up, man. You're gonna blow it up too much on that side.
No. I could use it. I could use a couple of clients. So.
Good stuff. Appreciate you being here, buddy.
Thank you, Sam.
We'll see you guys on the next episode.